What's going on, guys? Beefcakebro back again with another video, and the topic for this video is going to be why I love powerlifting and strength training so much. So I guess I can start by just giving a little background about myself. Growing up, I did a lot of wrestling, right? And if you're familiar with wrestling, especially high school wrestling, which is a pretty vicious sport in itself, I remember, growing up, going to practice and literally getting beat up every day by the high school, senior guys or whatever on the varsity team. And I remember going to meets, like big wrestling tournaments, and you look at the bracket and you see what number seed you are, and you're looking at the number one seeded guy, and you're just hoping that, oh man, I hope that this kid breaks his leg, or you're hoping that he's not 100%, and it was just vicious. Even the guys in your bracket are just giving you the stink eye, and you can tell everyone's thinking the same thing. But go ahead and fast forward like 5 years later when I get into the sport of powerlifting, and the dynamics are just totally different. Like, you can go to a local meet, in most of my experience, and see the guys in your weight class, and like everyone there is willing to help you out. Everyone there is willing to give you advice. Like, no one is hoping that you don't make a lift, or I hope this guy is sick and he doesn't perform well. Everyone there, pretty much, when they see you grinding through a lift, like, everyone is on your back behind you 100%, just telling you to go for it, get the weight up. And I just think it's, for a competitive environment, it's really, really positive. And that's one thing that I really love about the sport, is that it's pretty powerful. Like, I have guys that in some cases I haven't met in person yet, and we could just be on Instagram and they're just texting me like, hey man, how's training going? Or what do you think about this? I'm about to do this for my upcoming meet. What do you think about that? And it's just a lot of feedback. We're all just kind of feeding off each other, getting motivated off each other's like PRs and whatnot. And that's just incredible for a sport where essentially we're all still competing against each other. And that's pretty powerful. Now, the second thing that really drew me in about powerlifting and strength/performance sports in general was just the amount of science and literature that's backed by it. Like, when I was really heavy into doing bodybuilding or doing your typical bro splits, like, there was no like looking at books or looking at science. It was all just word of mouth, like bro splits. Like, everyone knew the classic back and biceps, the chest and triceps workout. And I feel like switching over, it was something really hard to get used to, but switching over to powerlifting and more strength-based sports, where it consults a lot of literature about building muscle and biomechanics of lifting. And I feel like that was a big change. Like, I remember walking into the gym and you would see, no one with Addy powers on, no one with a legitimate lifting belt. But nowadays, like, everyone has on their Mark Bells, and everyone's, oh, don't squat in your sneakers, bro. Squat in your squat shoes, bro. And it's completely changed the gym for the most part, to the point where now you even have medical professionals getting involved. And I'll see posts by chiropractors, and usually a chiropractor is something you think of going to once you've been in some type of traumatic accident, like a car accident or whatever, where you need to seek someone who knows about that stuff. But now these professionals are getting recognized because people want to perform better. They want to take care of their body. They want to keep maintenance up so they can be in the sport longer. And it's not common to go to a meet and see just people well into their 40s and 50s still enjoying the sport, or even still possibly like setting American or world records. It's pretty insane. And the last thing I really love about powerlifting, or strength sports in general, is just the confidence boost it gives you. So competing is one thing, being in front of other people competing, but the thing I like most about it is literally looking at a weight that scares you or that you think might be impossible, and getting closer to that number. So for instance, like a year ago, if you'd have told me that I would be squatting like well into the 600s, I would not believe you. If you'd have told me I'd be benching, close to 450, I would not have believed you, because these were just numbers that I just didn't think were possible for me. But now that I've been training, pretty hard for the past 2 years, like these numbers are becoming more and more attainable. And I'm constantly thinking, like, where does it end? Like, am I just going to get better from here? Or is there a limit to how much I can do? And that's the beauty of it, is that I really don't see there being like a definite, like, oh, here's my limit. Here's where I'm capping off at. It's just this, how can I get better? And you make those tiny adjustments, and before you know it, you're already halfway on your way to hitting those numbers that were pretty scary. Well, that's it for the video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Go ahead and drop a comment below. Let me know why you love your sport so much and what keeps bringing you back to competing and doing what you do. But as always, guys, stay beefy.